Hello and welcome. I am so excited. Can't you tell I am just kind of like jumping out of my seat right now? I'm so excited because we are here and we are at day one of the Black Woman Startup Summit. Before I go any further, I just have to take a moment, pause, and say congratulations, because out of the hundreds, the thousands of individuals who attempted to register for this summit, you are here because you actually received the scholarship. We weren't taking everyone. We only had room for 250 serious individuals. And guess what? You made the cut. But we didn't have any doubt that you would, because we understand that the individuals that show up to be Black women startups are high achieving women. My name is E.R. Spalding, and this is the first time that we're actually meeting. And so I'm so very excited. I've been working behind the scenes with my team, making sure that we were able to put a rock solid summit together for you. So I've been a little quiet, but that's because my head has been down with the team and we have been pulling this all together. I am the founder of Black Woman Startup, and I have to say that first I just like to apologize that it took me so long to step inside of the space, because I get that for far too long as Black women, we have been undervalued. And I also get that we have been underpaid. And a lot of the times we are doing phenomenal things inside of our workspace, and we are sometimes getting the accolades, but at the end of the day, we are doing it by ourselves. It really is our blessing and our curse. Think about it. How many times have you been the savior? You've saved the day. You've made sure that the presentation got off right. No one can do it quite like you can. And when it's all said and done, you're standing on the battlefield by yourself, or you're standing in a room and there's no one else that quite looks like you, that gets you, that understands that, kind of nod that we have with one another. And when I thought about my journey and what I had come through, it was one of the reasons that I decided and took a stand to become an entrepreneur, so that I can express myself to the fullest of my capability. But then I realized that I was in that silo again, that I did not reach back. I did not include other individuals. And so as I was sitting down and talking to individuals, Black Woman Startup was really birthed because it was my way of saying that I'm no longer going to carry around the shame of not doing more. I was just simply going to get in action. And that is what you did. You got in action. However you came here, whether you saw an ad, someone told you about it, you just happened to stumble upon it. When you saw it, you knew that we were talking to you and you took action. You applied for the scholarship and you are here today. So do me a favor, because I see more and more of you individuals starting to pop inside of the feed, and I'm looking over at my computer right now. Let me know where you're from. Give me your first name, your last name, and let me know where you're from. What part of the world are you in? Because this is a global movement. Black Woman Startup is really a global initiative because we are dedicated to helping high achieving women transfer their career success into the business success. Because who has time to take a step backwards? I know I didn't, but I did, and it was only because I didn't have all of the information that I needed. And more importantly, I didn't have other women that I could really reach out to that looked like me, that sounded like me, that understood my struggles, my pain, and that also understood the triumphs that I had. I didn't have those mentors. And so we are here, and I've brought all of my business besties together so that we can give you the best we have to offer. So welcome. I want you to think about the summit in this way. If you went to college and graduated, or even high school, maybe you go to school for the first day and you know that it is to move from being a freshman all the way to graduating as a senior. But there are a series of classes and tests and examinations and certifications and things that you have to go through in order to get from point A all the way to point B. And so you come in and you sit down with your counselor, and the counselor says, and I'm just throwing out a random, number here, that you need 720 credit hours in order to graduate. And so they look at the big picture and they say there are going to be some general education, your math, your English, you're going to have a language class that you have to take. And then, there are going to be some things that are going to be very specific in your niche market. So when I thought about this summit and when we were sitting down planning what that would look like, we wanted to make sure that you understood the full scope of the entrepreneurial journey. So this is going to be very high level, very big picture in what it is that we are going to be providing you. And then we'll take a step back and we'll, slow it down in order to speed up. But we want to make sure that you do not experience that hit and bump around the corner, right? You're riding down the road and you're getting ready to hit that curve and you really don't know how steep that curve is. And so you don't have enough time to slow down, right? And so we want to make sure that you don't have to do that as a Black woman startup. That part of you starting up is getting a leg up because you have mentors, you have women who have gone before you who are highly successful that are actually showing you the ropes, and they're saying, hey, this is what's coming around the bend, and we want to make sure that you are ready and prepared for it. So again, I'm really excited, and I'm seeing a lot of people. I've got some Chicagoans. I'm from Chicago, so hey, how are you guys doing? We've got people popping in from New York. So again, if you're just starting and you're just getting here with us, make sure that you're putting inside of the feed your first name, your last name, and chat feed, and also where you are popping in from, because we are so glad that you are here and you got your scholarship, and this is really getting ready to be a phenomenal ride. So waiting in the wings, I've got one of my really good entrepreneurial buddies, Miss Lethia Owens. And when I tell you that this lady is a powerhouse, first of all, her spirit just exudes that of warmth and vitality and strength in numbers. And when I called her up and said, this is what I'm doing, she said, I am 1,000% on board, sis. Let me know what it is that you need me to do. And that's what you need. You need your business besties that you can call up and say, hey, I'm your cheerleader. I am your comrade in arms. Whatever it is that you need me to do, I am here to support you in that way. And Lethia has proven time and time again that she is that. But we're just not bringing you anyone to the stage. Like, Lethia has been ranked number 8 among the top 30 brand gurus in the world. Number 8. So when she talks about coming into the marketplace and dominating it and making sure that not only do you have a brand, but that people know what your brand is all about, it is nothing short of brilliant. So I'm excited anytime Lethia comes and I have an opportunity to sit in her presence and to learn from her. I am always just gifted with golden jewels of knowledge, and this is what she's here waiting to do. And I know she's like, hey, Spalding, come on, I'm ready to get in the game, So without further delay, Lethia Owens is here, and we are going to have a phenomenal time. So make sure that you get comfortable. I'm relaxed here. I got my workbook. Oh yeah, by the way, you got to download your workbook if you haven't already. And so in order to do that, you want to text the keyword Lethia, Lethia, to 773-993-1652. Again, if you missed that, it's right down below. You want to text 773-993-1652, and the keyword that you want to put in there is Lethia, Lethia. That way you'll be able to download the workbook. Now, the workbooks are designed for you to kind of go along with each one of the trainers as they're bringing this phenomenal content, but you're going to get the most value when this is all over. When you really have an opportunity to sit back and digest all of this information that we are about to give you. So make sure that you download the workbook, that you're following along, that you're taking copious notes, as I know you are, because you are a high achieving and soon to be Black woman startup. So without further delay, Lethia, I am coming over to you, and everyone say it with me. We're getting ready to count it down in 5, 4, 3, 2, it's all on you. All right, have a great one.
Hi, this is Lethia Owens, and I am so excited to bring you this training called Brand Your Brilliance, the Black Woman's Branding Blueprint for Building a $1 Million Business. So I have a question for you. Have you built a brand of any real value? Well, you'll know by how many people will care and notice if you don't show up tomorrow. When it comes to building a powerful brand, it's important to make sure that you are building a brand that magnetically connects with and attracts the people that you want to most serve. And in today's training, we're actually going to talk about how you really leverage the power of your brand to really build a thriving business. So it's important that you share your brand story in a way that honors your purpose and elevates your calling. And I'm going to share with you how you do that. The first thing that you have to do is you have to know your what and your why. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? What kind of business do you really want to build and start? Now, for those of you who may still be in corporate America, working your 9 to 5 with your dream of building a business, and for those of you who've already started building your business, I want you to take a look at what is it that you're really trying to build and be really crystal clear about that, the answer to that question. And here's the reason why. If you're not really clear on what you're building, it's almost impossible to communicate it to other people and get them excited and inspired to really share and promote your brand. And we know that no one is successful in a vacuum. We need other people to help us reach our goals and really build a successful business. And that's why it's so important that the people who are closest to you, the people who know you, and even the people who come in contact with you understand what it is that you do in such a way that they can repeat it and share it with the people that they believe need that the most. And then the why you're doing what you're doing. You know, people often say, and I even used to say, oh, I'm doing this for my grandchildren. I want to change the trajectory of my grandchildren's lives, right? But the reality of it is the reason I'm doing what I do is because there's a much deeper calling and a much deeper need to satisfy my purpose, the purpose that's on my life. Now, my grandchildren will benefit from me being obedient and actually doing the work that I've been put on this planet to do. But the why, the very reason why this is so important to me is because I realize that there are people waiting on me, people who have a problem that I've been created to solve. There are people who have specific problems that are waiting on you, and you are their answer. You were created to be the solution for the problem that these people have, right? So it's important for you to understand the what you want to build and what you want to offer and what you want to do, as well as the why it's important for you to do it. And I understand that for me, it's the fulfilling of my calling, the calling that's placed on my life to help hundreds of thousands of people learn how to grow their business while growing their faith, right? I know that that's the reason that I've been put on this planet. You see, when I quit my fancy, cushy corporate job at State Farm as a leader in their IT department, I knew that I was on purpose by becoming a speaker and a coach and an author. I knew that I was stepping into the path of purpose. But when I got really clear about the what I'm supposed to be doing and the why behind it, it became clear to me that creating this community where people from all over the world could come and connect in a supportive and encouraging community and get the training that they need to really build a strong spiritual foundation as well as build their business. When I discovered that or realized that, I felt like I had discovered the very reason why I was created, the very purpose that God breathed life into my body. And so I think that if you could approach your work with the same level of clarity and enthusiasm about the what you're called to do and the why it's important for you to be successful at it, you will approach your work, your business, and your brand with an energy and a clarity and a focus and a drive that will help you to become phenomenally successful. The other thing is that people buy you before they buy what you're selling. So it's important to understand that you have to have a strong and powerful and influential personal brand before the product that you're selling is ever even presented to the individual. Because people don't really care how much you know. We've heard that, right? Until they know how much you care. And so if you share yourself with the world and who you are in an authentic and powerful way, then you'll begin to capture the attention of the people who you're called to serve. Now, it's important that you also rise above the noise because everyone's an expert today. I mean, the reality of it is if you go on Facebook and look at your closest 10 friends, or not even your closest 10 friends, but just 10 random people that you're connected to, I bet you out of those 10, 3 of them at least, if not 5, call themselves some kind of an expert. They're an author, a speaker, a coach, or something. Like everybody and their mother is a coach today or an expert, right? And so if you're stepping into a space where you want to speak or you want to write books or you want to coach, it's important that you identify your expertise and then learn how to package it and brand it in such a way that it helps you to elevate and rise above the noise, because there's so much noise in the marketplace today. And there are a lot of individuals who, for whatever reason, have decided to enter the marketplace, but don't really have the training or the experience to really do the work that they want to do at the level that they want to do it, but yet they're still presenting themselves as an expert. So it's important that you separate yourself from people who are doing that and that you present yourself as a true expert who knows what you're doing, okay? The other thing is you must share your most authentic self and offer amazing value. There's no way around this. Gone are the days that you could, someone could hang out a shingle, build a website and say, hey, I do this for a living, and talk people into signing up for a program that they're really not that great at delivering, right? I mean, you have to really share who you are. I mean, people are really smart and they've become socially intelligent. And when you present yourself online via social media or in your marketing campaigns, they can read through the lines. They can read through the facade that people put up, right? So don't put up a facade. Share who you really are. Share your heart with people. Share your wisdom, your personality. Like bring all of who you are to the table and allow people to experience that. And then you'll begin to move the needle. The other thing is that you have to offer amazing value. Like I said, gone are the days where you could offer someone something that you've kind of thrown together, right? I remember my very first internet marketing course, and the teacher was telling us, oh, you could just put something together. It doesn't even have to be perfect. And I agree that it doesn't have to be perfect, but you can't just throw things together anymore. There used to be a time that you could throw something together with SEO and traction, sell a report for $7 over and over and over all day long and make tons of money. But if you want to build a brand as being a game changer and an expert, you can't take that path. You have to have something valuable to say. You have to have something important to share. You have to have something transformative to offer people, or they won't listen and they won't stay. That's just the reality of where we are. The other thing is that as we look at sharing ourselves in a way that really helps us to really elevate our brand and really step into our calling, I want you to know that most of the experts in the marketplace speak and share content and share information from a head-to-head perspective. And I think that this is probably over 90%, if I would guess, of the people that when I read their newsletters and I see them online, this is what I'm receiving. This is what I'm getting. Head-to-head information. And head-to-head really is sharing information, sometimes very good information that is very helpful, things you really need to know, right? But at the end of the day, head-to-head communication and messaging, what it does is it informs and it increases your awareness. And the bad part about that, though, is that it really doesn't inspire you to take an action. It just gives you more information. It makes you more aware, right? But when you learn to speak the way some of the best marketers speak and the best experts and communicators speak, which is heart to heart, you'll begin to connect with your audience in a much more powerful way. So heart-to-heart communication is powerful because what it does is it inspires and it motivates. It inspires and motivates individuals to move forward. You hear people saying, "Oh my gosh, this information was priceless. I'm going to," and they talk about how they're going to do something different because of what they've learned or the information that they've heard or how the person has shared this content, right? And if you want to be successful in building a thriving business, it's important that you learn how to do that. And it's important that you learn how to speak to the heart of a person. But if you really want to rise above the noise, and if you really want to build a game-changing business, then I want to challenge you to learn how to speak spirit to spirit. Now, spirit to spirit is the power to actually transform people in your presence in the moment that they're actually having an encounter with you. And that is so powerful. You see, spirit to spirit communication and messaging is all about sharing your message in a way that connects with the highest ambitions, aspirations, and desires of the person that you're talking to or that you're communicating with. When you're able to really connect with the person in that way and share your information, your message in a way that connects with them at that level, you have the power now to transform them in the process, in the encounter that they're having with you. So for example, I created this piece called Why I'm Tempted to Quit Today, right? And the first thing is the title alone drew people in, and I connected with their deepest fears and their deepest challenges, which, people who are building a business, they want to be successful. I know you're not starting a business or building a business because you don't have anything else to do. You're doing it. You're investing your time, energy, and money and taking the enormous risk because you want to be successful, right? You want to make a difference. You want to do some amazing things in the world and have the financial resources to be able to do that, right? I get it. But when we think about, this topic that I wrote about, why I'm tempted to quit today, I basically revealed that, whenever you have a big, hairy, audacious goal, or whenever you're living life where you're never satisfied with the status quo and you're always thinking of what's next, what's that next level for you, when you're always living on the cutting edge, there are going to be days when you will say, why did I think I could do this? What was I thinking? I don't know if I really have the stuff needed to do this thing. You may never say it to other people, but in the back of your mind somewhere, you may be struggling with, is this possible, right? And there are going to be days when you are tempted to quit. So that was the premise of the content, but here is where the spirit to spirit came into play. I asked the question, okay, so say you quit. let's just say you quit your business, the purpose for which you feel like you were created, this business that's connected to your purpose, right? Let's say you quit it because you feel like you just can't do it. It's too big. It's too much, right? God called the wrong person. You wish that you could tell God, hey, can I transfer you to someone else who has better skills and who's more qualified, right? But let's say you decide that you're going to quit. My question to the reader was, what are you going to do after quitting your purpose? If you say no to purpose, like, where do you go after that? What does life look like after that? Right. Because when they start thinking about that question and they really give it some thought, on the other side of that question, the answer that they give themselves or that they start to ponder and think about forever shifts and shapes how they will view their response and responsibility to the awesome gifts that God has given them with regards to their abilities and then the calling that he's given them to fulfill a specific purpose. So because after reading that or watching the video, they were challenged with a question and a thought and a message that was spirit to spirit, they are no longer the same. They are transformed on the other side of that experience. And it's important that you learn how to write and connect with people at that level if you want to build a thriving business. Okay? The other thing that I want to share with you is that branding your brilliance is essential to building a thriving and profitable business. And the reason I say this is your ability to have a brand that's notable in the marketplace is directly tied to how effectively other people can promote you and talk about you and talk about what it is that you do. So the first thing that you want to do is create a magnetic brand message. You want to create a message that is memorable, that is relatable, that really connects with the hearts and the minds of the people that you most want to reach. It's important that as you're thinking about this brand message, that you do the due diligence, and we have a program and a process that we offer where we walk people through a very specific branding framework that we call it the Magnetic Brand Framework, and you'll see it here. And this Magnetic Brand Framework is used to help our clients get crystal clear on their brand messaging and the value of their brand and who they're going to promote their brand to, and also packaging it in such a way that it's easy for them to promote it in the marketplace. So getting back to the magnetic brand message, we use the Brand Your Brilliance blueprint to help our clients really, create that. But it's essential that you are clear about the message that you want to share with the world, so that when people hear your brand message, they know immediately that you're talking to them and they're excited and ready to take action to come and engage with you. The other thing is that you have to identify your divine client. And again, on the Magnetic Brand Framework, what we do is we help you get crystal clear about the demographics, the psychographics, the sociographics of your divine client, the people that you have been called to work with. I believe that your clients have been identified, handpicked by God to work with you before the foundation of this world was ever even created. Because when you were a thought in God's mind, and he decided to create you for a specific purpose, I believe that he also identified the people that you would be called to serve, because you are as I said this earlier, a solution to somebody's problem. So God wouldn't create you as a solution if there wasn't someone who had a problem that you needed to address or be the fix for, right? So I think that, every business owner in business has a divine client, and it's a matter of us doing the work to get crystal clear about who that client is. Also, it's important to create your signature system. And again, this is a part of the Magnetic Brand Blueprint. The Magnetic Branding Framework. And so as we look at what this means, like, what is your signature system? And that may be what you're asking, like, Lethia, what is a signature system? Well, a signature system is basically the framework that you use to deliver your proprietary process, information, or content. And what it does is it gives you a very neat framework to offer your solution to the world. You see, some people, they want to consult or coach or speak, and they just have all of these powerful but random, not cohesively connected concepts or ideas or strategies. And what creating a signature system does is it allows you to create an umbrella message and some very clear steps or processes or keys or pillars underneath that umbrella brand and process, so that when you're communicating to other people, you have the ability to communicate it in such a way that it's clear what you're offering, how you transform people, and what the process is to do that. In my book, Your Brand Influence, I have basically my 7 E's for building an influential personal brand. And this is my signature system for my work with corporations. So if a company brings me in to speak, I give them an opportunity to purchase. Actually, I pre-sell copies of my book with my keynote, and they get 100 copies. Their executive can write the foreword for the book, and I'll do an on-demand print for them. And the process that's in this book is just my 7-step formula for building an influential personal brand. So if someone asks me to come in and speak, I can speak on the whole system, or I can speak on 1 or 2 of the points. I can create a custom keynote or custom coaching program based on the steps that I have in this signature system. So I want you to think about, your expertise and what you bring to the table, right? Your signature system, especially if you're a service provider, such as a speaker, coach, author, is really, really, really critical. But let's just say you're not a coach. Let's just say you're someone like a salon owner, right? And you may say, hey, Lethia, I don't speak, so I don't have a signature system. How can I create a signature system for my coaching program? Lethia, I own an automobile organization or company, right? Like an auto repair company. We don't have a signature system. Yeah, you can still have a signature system, and you should. Your signature system, instead of being a book and a process by which you communicate, a coaching program, what you will do is create a signature system of how you serve your clients. One of my clients, Lisa Nichols, and her organization, Technology Partners, they have a signature system called Delight. And that system basically tells their employees as well as their customers, how they treat their customers and how they want their customer encounters to go. And so it's important that you have a system that you operate under that includes unique information around how you're showing up in the marketplace or how you help your clients reach their goals, right? So creating your signature system is absolutely important in this process, this branding process. Now, there are 3 big mistakes that new business owners make when marketing their brand, and I want to share with you how to avoid those mistakes, right? So the first mistake is they brand their business based on current trends. I had a client once, she booked a VIP experience with me. So I flew to Hawaii to go work with her. And in this process of working on building her brand in the discovery process, it was hard. It was so hard. I mean, one of the hardest experiences I've had in trying to help brand someone. And I couldn't figure out, why is this so hard? And why is this not working the way that it should be working? And then, finally she just said, you know what, Lethia, can you just build a brand for me that's like yours? And I was trying to pull out of her brilliance, her purpose, and her calling so that we could brand it and package it, right? And create a signature system tied to it. But it was difficult because in her mind, she didn't want to discover something new. She didn't want to do the work of going in and unearthing her own brand. She loved my brand and just wanted a brand like mine. Well, you can't build a brand based on someone else's brand or their success or the trends that are currently working. You can't look at another brand and say, oh my gosh, that's hot, that's selling. Let me, create something very similar to that, because if people are buying that, they'll buy what I create if I create something very similar to this other thing. You have to look inward. You have to be prayerful about what your unique gifts and talents are and what your purpose is on this planet, and be 100% surrendered to fulfilling that calling so that you can experience the success that is designed just for you, right? The other thing is that, marketing your brand without a process in place to monetize your message is a big mistake. I can't tell you how many people I meet who have a fancy website and they come to me and they say, Lethia, do you like my website? Is this a good website? And my response to them is, well, it all depends. How much money is it making you? People sometimes think that just because they have all the bells and whistles, the book, the business card, the website, that they're going to start making money, that they're going to start building a business that's amazing. But the reality of it is if you don't have the things in place to generate leads, to process those leads, to nurture your list, to build relationships, to ask people for referrals, to reward people for providing referrals, to upsell your existing customers. If you don't have those things in place to really take people along on the journey of doing business with you, I call it the process of monetizing your message. And you do that with a sales system, right? If you don't have that in place, then you have the branding perhaps, and you may even have the marketing strategies to get your message out there. But when you attract traffic, those people have no direction of what to do next. They have you're not guiding them and leading them to what's the next step with regards to engaging with you or working with you. Some people, when they encounter you, they're going to be a yes. Some people are going to be a no for now, and some people will be a no forever. And your system, your sales system, should be smart enough to process and try to segment and identify each person that comes into that you encounter online or in person, and then you add them to your system. You want to try to identify quickly which type of person they are. And so a sales system that is built, that's a strong sales system and built well, will be able to segment your leads and the people that opt into your list and connect with you. A really strong sales system will be able to identify the type of person that you're dealing with, and then segment them in your list and tag them so that you know how many people that you have who are probably not going to buy anything from you, how many people are on your list who are people who probably are just a no for now, and then how many people on your list are people who are hungry for what it is that you have to offer and are willing to pay top dollar today to get it, right? The other mistake is that people try to speak to everyone instead of their divine clients. As I said earlier, I believe that you have specific people that you're here to work with, specific people with a problem that you are created to solve. And so when people work with me, they're like, everyone needs this. Yeah, everyone does need reading glasses, right? But that doesn't mean that you are going to try to market to everyone, because if you try to market to everyone, you'll end up marketing to no one. So these are my reading glasses, and I like them because they're a little funky, right? So I don't buy reading glasses, and I'm going to show you this other pair that I never use. These are kind of plain and boring. I never wear them, right? So the people who make glasses, reading glasses or prescription glasses that are a little funky, are my kind of company. So the people who make these kinds of glasses, they don't need to try to market to everyone. They need to market to the people who are looking for a little flair, something a little different in their eyewear so that they can express their personality, right? So don't make the mistake of trying to market to everyone. Identify your divine client and then learn to speak the specific language in a specific way that will reach their heart specifically, okay? The other thing that I want to share with you today is I want you to really learn how to be seen everywhere and dominate your market for explosive growth. Now, I have a blueprint called the Market Domination Blueprint that is amazing at exploding your visibility and helping you generate massive traffic to your website and your online content. Now, this blueprint, as you can see, has 4 steps. The first step is setting up all of your social media. And this program is not really about that blueprint. I have a whole nother program for that. But today I just want to, kind of give you a glimpse at it. But the first step is to set up all your social media accounts. The second step is to create content that is absolutely amazing. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then you repurpose it and then you distribute it. So let's get into this a little bit more. So the first thing is set up all of your social media profiles. You'll notice on the blueprint that the profiles or the accounts are all of the top accounts. And people often ask me, Lethia, do I have to set up all of these accounts? No, you don't have to set up all of the accounts. Those are the recommended accounts, right? And people say, oh my gosh, Lethia, I have trouble keeping up with one social network. Now you're asking me to be on all of these social networks. Well, I want you to be present on the ones that are identified here on the blueprint, but you may only really be, really focused and active on 1 or 2 of the social networks, right? So, but you need a presence on the key social networks. That's what I'm trying to help you understand. The other thing is I want you to create one powerful magnetic message each week. And this should be a message that people can't wait to receive, that your messages are so transformative, so spirit to spirit, so relevant and so timely and so transformative that they can't wait to open up the email or see your message in their feed on their social media accounts. You're going to take this powerful message, and then step 3, you're going to repurpose your message. You're going to turn it into a video, a podcast, a blog post, a LinkedIn post, an email for your newsletter, right? You're going to take this one message and you're going to now repurpose it in many different ways. And then you're going to redistribute or distribute your content with a purpose. And the purpose is to grow all of your social media accounts at the same time. That's the beauty of this Market Domination Blueprint, is you're not just building your blog subscribers. You're building your blog subscribers, your Facebook likes, your LinkedIn connections, your YouTube subscribers, all at the same time. Because when you repurpose, you're pushing your content out to all of these networks. Would you like to know a powerful and untapped secret to help you win at the game of life and business? Well, a few months ago, I went through an experience of having to take care of my father and help him after 2 failed surgeries fight for his life. And I had to airlift him from Georgia to St. Louis, and we saw all kinds of specialists. And there were several times when they told us that, he was at a very critical state, and we prayed and we believed God for miraculous healing for him. And in the process, I also discovered that I had 3 tumors in my body. And I had to undergo, while trying to care for my father, I had to undergo multiple surgeries to remove these tumors. And I underwent test after test after test to try to make sure that the tumors weren't cancerous, to determine how to remove them and all that crazy stuff, right? But in this process, I also had a lot of time to sit and think and contemplate while I was resting, right? And in this process, I started to really think about how I wanted to build my business, right? I understood the what I wanted to do, and I understood the why I wanted to do it. But there was this other question of, but how do you want to do it? Like, what type of business do you want to create? What kind of business model do you want to use to shape where you're going next? And my girlfriend, my super fabulous girlfriend, Kathy Sexton, gave me a book by one of my colleagues, Sam Silverstein. I knew about his book, but for some reason I hadn't yet read it. And I'm so glad she gave me a copy of it. And I read the book, and the book was absolutely amazing. But here's the deal. In order, the answer to this question, this untapped secret to help you win in business and life, is that most of us have not determined what our non-negotiables are. And the book that Kathy shared with me was about non-negotiables, right? What are your non-negotiables? This book was a book about Pat Hickman's organization called Happy State Bank. And Happy State Bank faithfully follow 20 non-negotiable principles for success and spiritual and moral health. It is an amazing book by Sam Silverstein, my colleague, who's also the past president of the National Speakers Association, but his expertise is on accountability. And he also has a book called Accountability, which is also amazing. But what I want you to, and if you haven't picked up the book, pick up the book. I just wanted to say that too. But what I wanted you to understand is that I realized that I needed some non-negotiables in my life to help me make better business decisions and better life decisions. And I sat down and really started thinking about my non-negotiables, and I'd like to share them with you now. So my non-negotiables can be summed up as follows, and these pretty much three simple things. Number one, anything I do must honor God and the calling on my life. So if it's a great opportunity, but it doesn't honor God and it doesn't honor the calling that's on my life, or it's not in alignment with the calling that's on my life, I have to say no. Even if it's a wonderful opportunity, I have to say no. Also, everything I do must prioritize my well-being, meaning my relationships with my friends and my family members, and my relationship with my husband, and also my health, right? Because honestly, I wasn't taking care of myself the way that I really needed to. And third, anything that I do must support the lifestyle that I desire to live. I have an idea of the lifestyle I want to live, and it is not working a 60 to 80 hour week. And so if an opportunity requires me to work that way, I know that it's not in my best interest, and it's probably not the best thing for me. Now, as a business owner, there will be weeks when you have to work 60 to 80 hours, but I don't want my life to be characterized by always having to work those kinds of hours in order to get the job done, right? So that's really what I'm talking about. As you think about the brand that you're building and the business that you want to grow, I hope that you really listen to what I've shared today. Take heart of the principles that I've shared, because I think that they could be powerful and transformative in helping you build a more powerful brand that also helps you create and grow a thriving business and a profitable business.